Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. We are back. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. Today we've got another Blues News episode. There's not much been going on in the world of Everton over the last couple of days. Obviously we didn't play at the weekend. It is now Wednesday, I believe. This week's going incredibly fast, so I don't even know where we're at. It's now Wednesday, and there's a couple of things to talk about. There's not a lot, but there's a couple of things. One thing specifically which I really want to talk about, and that is the Everton Goodison Park zip line. The zip line across Goodison Park that I myself will be taking part in order to raise funds for Everton in the community. So we'll go into talking about that in just a minute, as well as Tyias Browning's move to the Chinese Super League. Tyias Browning, obviously former Everton defender, played in a Merseyside derby before, only 24 years of age, and he's decided to take the career move into the Chinese Super League. So we'll talk about that in today's episode as well. Jamie O'Hare says, yes lad, yes Jamie, I hope you are having a fantastic day as everybody else as well. I'm just going to tweet the stream out so everybody knows we are live and can come over and give us a watch if they want to. Bear with me just 2 seconds. There you go. Easy as that. Phone's about to die, but it doesn't matter. We've got the stream tweeted out, so everybody can come over from Twitter if they wish. So I suppose we'll dive straight into tonight's stream. Really, the most important topic I want to talk about is the Goodison Park Zip Slide, the 2019 Goodison Park Zip Slide, raising funds for Everton in the community. I'll be taking part in it myself. It is on Saturday, the 30th of March. If you guys want to take part in it, if you're interested in taking part in it, basically it's an event, obviously, to raise money for Everton in the community, and it's ziplining from one end of Goodison Park to the other end. You know, a thrilling, energetic, sort of adrenaline junkie type of event. So going from one end of Goodison to the other on a zip line really is something that, you know, will get your adrenaline up. Definitely, if you're interested in taking part in it, you can head over to Everton in the Community's Twitter or their website, and it's literally just a form that you'd have to fill in. I think you have to pay £20 for the ticket, and then they'll send you a load of information about how to raise funds for it. And obviously you'll be invited down on Saturday the 30th of March to Goodison Park to do the zip line. Like I've just said, I'll be there, and that obviously leads me in to the next part of it. Of course, you know, Everton in the community is an absolutely wonderful organisation. The things they do for the public, the things they do for vulnerable people in our community is absolutely unbelievable. And, you know, seeing some of the work that they've done over the last couple of years, and specifically the last couple of months, of course, with the People's Hub, and then obviously raising money for the People's Place, which is going to be a new mental health facility, which is really close to Goodison Park, and people are going to be able to go there and get support and just have somebody to talk to, really. I mean, you know, Everton in the community is something that's really close to my heart. Obviously, being a local lad to Goodison Park, being a local lad in Liverpool, seeing the, you know, the changes that they are making to the community and seeing how they are helping people on a daily basis, seeing the videos of people, you know, from different, doesn't matter who you support, whether you support Everton, whether you support Liverpool, whether you don't like football at all, Everton in the community are literally helping everyone. And I wanted to, you know, get involved. I wanted to do my part, and I'm really proud of the fact that I can, you know, do the zip line. I'm really proud of the fact that I can help raise money for Everton in the community. So having said that, I've left a link in the top line of the description. If you've got any spare pennies whatsoever, literally anything, whether it's, you know, £1 or £2, it really doesn't matter. If you've got anything at all, I would massively appreciate if you could go down there and donate anything that you possibly can. Obviously, it will be going to my page because I'll be taking part in the zip line, but all the funds will be going to Everton in the community. Every single penny that we earn, that we make, will be going towards Everton in the community, and helping Everton in the community reach their target of £1 million to build the People's Place, which is going to be the new mental health hub, which will sit right next to the People's Hub, which is obviously just 500 metres away from Goodison Park, next to the Royal Oak pub if you live around Liverpool. It's absolutely amazing cause, and coming from a place of, you know, a situation where I personally myself, I don't want to go too much into my story because that's not what we're here about, but I've suffered from mental health issues for pretty much my entire life. You know, it's something that has been in my life for, you know, like I said, pretty much the entirety of it. I'm not going to go into detail. I'm not going to go into speaking about, you know, what mental health issues and stuff like that. But coming from somebody that, you know, has had an absolutely amazing family, an absolutely amazing set of friends around me to you know, help me get through these bad days, help me get through the struggles which are currently still going on. You know, it's massive that Everton in the community are there for those people that don't have somebody to go to, don't have a, you know, a family, don't necessarily have a group of friends to go to and to get support from. Of course, like I said, my family and friends are absolutely unbelievable and they understand my situation, but not everybody has that. So that's why I massively appreciate the work that Everton in the community do. And, you know, nobody beats it. Nobody can beat the work that they do for people in this community, specifically people that are obviously suffering with mental health issues. Mental health is something that is, you know, becoming a lot bigger now. People are starting to talk about it. People are starting to come out and speak about their issues and speak about, you know, how they can get help. So it's unbelievable that Everton in the community, you know, are trying to raise the funds obviously to get a new hub, a whole new building where people can go and just talk and go and, you know, seek some help and seek some advice, because sometimes that's all you really need. You just need somebody to sit down and talk to. You just need somebody to vent to and say, listen, I've had an awful week, this has happened, and you just need a pair of, you know, ears to listen to. Like I said, I'm luckily enough in the position that I've got an amazing family and amazing friends that I can do that, but not everybody is, and that's why the work that Everton in the community do is absolutely unbelievable. So I would massively appreciate if you've got anything at all that you can, you know, spare, any spare change, any, you know, odds that you can donate. I would massively appreciate if you did. Like I said, I've left a link down in the description below with a little bit more information about it. If you click that link, you'll go to my page as well, and there's a little bit more information on that as well. It's directly linked to Everton in the community, so everything that you donate through me will automatically go through to Everton in the community as well. And like I said, I'll be there on Saturday the 30th of March doing the zip lining across Goodison Park. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm massively scared of heights. So it's I'm not really scared of heights, and I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I'm quite looking forward to it. But obviously the main thing is obviously raising money for Everton in the community, and getting down and taking part in a fantastic event as well. If you can't donate, don't worry at all. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say everybody donate. You've got to donate. If you can't donate, that's absolutely fine, and I completely understand the situation. I'll be filming the day. I'll be hopefully filming the zip line if I'm allowed, and I'll be obviously putting it up as a little vlog on YouTube as well. So either way, you'll get to see my. I'm not gonna say terrified, because I generally enjoy these type of things like zip lines and stuff, but I probably will be terrified, because it isn't everyone when they're, you know, about to zip line off a building or off a football stadium. So yeah, you'll see my probably terrified and slightly too overconfident face doing the zip line. Of course, that'll be uploaded as a vlog. But like I said, I massively appreciate any help that you can give, of course. And if you can't, I'm sure you'll be sending your best wishes and everything to everyone in the community anyway. Absolutely fantastic charity and an absolutely fantastic cause as well. And like I said, for me, anybody that, you know, wants to go out there and openly help anybody in the community, especially vulnerable people, and especially the issues surrounding mental health and things like that, you know, it's absolutely unbelievable, because at the end of the day, there's people out there that are struggling daily that haven't got anybody to go to and haven't got anybody to talk to. I'm lucky enough that I have, but there's people out there that haven't. So it's really, really important that, you know, everyone in the community, what they're doing and what they're trying to achieve and building this people's place where people can go to and people can speak to you know, professionals, and people can speak to people who, you know, understand their situations and just generally vent. It's absolutely massive, and it's a fantastic cause, and I'm really, really proud to be involved with it, and I'm really, really proud that I get the opportunity to, you know, do something to give back to everyone in the community. So it's massive. I know that recently they had the zip line or zip wire across the Snowdonia Mountain, which the lads off Toffee TV done. Another absolutely fantastic event put on by everyone in the community to raise funds. I'd have absolutely loved to have done that. Unfortunately, I couldn't, just because I didn't end up seeing the event until late, and I already had something planned. But again, that's another fantastic event that went on this past Friday, I believe it was, and, you know, they raised a load of money for that as well, so that's absolutely fantastic. Jamie says, wish I could do that, but heights are no good for me. Yeah, I understand that completely. There'll be a lot of people that are, you know, scared of heights. I don't know what it is. I'm not scared of heights. I've just never have been as a kid, but I know it's definitely something that a lot of people are scared of. My mum is absolutely terrified of heights. Shabba says, forget that zip line, Lark, I'm too scared for that, Lark. Again, a lot of people scared of heights. David says, nor are they for the club, Jamie. In terms of heights, fair enough. David says, I'll donate a tea bag if Denise needs one. Thank you very much, Jamie. Sammy says, are you planning to do a match day vlog? I am planning to do a match day, I don't want to do a match day vlog in terms of generally sitting in the match with the camera filming it, because that's just not what I like to do. I'm not going to sit here and lie. When I'm at the game, I'm literally sitting watching the game and all eyes on the game. But I would, maybe if I go to some away games, hopefully if we get in Europe, I say hopefully, next season or the season after, obviously I'll do some vlogging of the trip and stuff like that as well. Jamie says, I'll donate, pal, but I'm from Ireland, so I won't be able to make it. Thank you very much, Jamie. Absolutely no worries that you won't be able to make it, of course. Your donation is more than enough, so thank you very much. Emily says, Everton fixture is very hard. I don't know whether he's talking about our next upcoming fixture, which is Cardiff away next Tuesday. It is a really, really tough fixture. Obviously, Cardiff at the minute going through their own issues as well, so they're going to be coming out, they're going to be fighting, they're going to be wanting to get the 3 points, because, at the end of the day, they're in a situation where if they don't start picking up points, they are looking like they're going to be relegated. So, it's really important for Cardiff to start picking up points, and it's really important for Everton to start picking up points as well, because we might get dragged into something that we don't really want to be dragged into, let's be honest. So yeah, it's a massive game for Everton next Tuesday. We've had a couple of weeks break now. There's no excuses for the players to be tired. There's no excuses for the players to be, worn out. They've had a massive break. So at the end of the day, we need to go out and we need to show who's the better team, and we need to, really, really get at Cardiff and get the 3 points. Samuel says, I couldn't do it because I am from Ireland too. Fair enough, Samuel. Got quite a few Irish fans in here. Thank you very much. Fans, I don't know what I say. Quite a few Irish Everton fans, not quite a few Irish fans of me. I don't like to think I've got fans, that's just a bit mad. Quite a few Irish Everton fans, so thank you very much for taking your time to come over and watch the stream, of course. So that was the main, sort of the biggest point I wanted to speak about in today's live stream. Obviously, absolutely fantastic cause, and I just wanted to let you guys know I'll be doing the zip line as well. So if you've seen it on Twitter, if you've seen it on Facebook, if you've seen it on social media, I just wanted to let you know that I'll be involved in it as well. And I can't wait, to be honest. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing event, and it should be really, really good fun as well to do the zip line and to be there, seeing a lot of people probably a little bit worried to do it. Well, I'm saying I'll be sitting there thinking I'll be alright, I don't mind heights, but I'll probably get zip lined up and get the wires on me and think, oh my god, this is horrible. But hopefully Goodison Park can hold me, and we get to do it successfully. Chan says, I wish Brown all the best. Evergrande is one of the top teams in China and Asia, won consecutive Asian Champions Leagues just 3 years ago, and I would expect he's getting a fat paycheck. Yes, of course, Tyias Brown's moved to the Chinese Super League. We'll talk about that in a minute. I also expect that he'll be getting quite a lot of money for that move as well. John says, are you going to watch Super Sunday Camp, pal? Probably if I'm not doing anything, I probably will. I tend to, watch the football no matter who it is, if I'm free and I'm available to do so. But yeah, that leads us nicely on to the next point of today's scene. The next little bit of news to come out of Everton Football Club today is a little bit of a strange one. It's a little bit of a strange story, and I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about this one in the comments section down below, because for me, it's something that was rumoured for quite a few weeks and, a few months, and it's something that makes a lot of sense for the player, but it just is a little bit of a strange story for me, and that is that Tyias Brown, and obviously 24-year-old Everton defender, played in a Merseyside derby at Anfield a few years back. I think he played in that Merseyside derby where Jagielka scored that fantastic goal from about 35 yards. He has moved to the Chinese Super League. He has moved to, and I'm really, really sorry about this because I am inevitably going to cock this pronunciation up. He has moved to Guangzhou Evergrande. That's definitely not how you say it, so I do apologise to any, Chinese Super League fans watching, because I really cocked that pronunciation, so I do apologise. But anyway, he has moved to them. He has moved to the Chinese Super League, obviously 24 years old, and I think this is a really, really important transfer for not only the player himself, but for the Chinese Super League as well. For the last couple of seasons now, the Chinese Super League has been seen as a league that, players go to when they're sort of in the dying ends of their career, when they've not got much left, when they've lost their legs, when they're not good enough to play in the top leagues. They go to the Chinese Super League, they get a load of money before they retire, and then they retire. It's almost like what the MLS used to be. It's like a retirement league for players that really haven't got it anymore, and I'm not saying that Tyias Brown is an unbelievable unbelievable footballer, and he's made that decision to go over there. And we've seen, a similar situation with Oscar of Chelsea, who decided to go over there when he was in the peak of his career. But Tyias Browning, of course, 24 years old, really should be at this moment in the peak of his footballing playing career. Obviously, he hasn't played a lot for Everton since, he's been here through the academy. Like I said, he did play in that Merseyside derby, but he didn't really get lucky enough to play in the first team consistently. I don't particularly think he's a bad player. I think he's a pretty decent player. I think he's a solid defender. Obviously, he mustn't be absolutely fantastic, because there's been a few seasons now where a few different managers, that haven't really fancied getting him involved. But he has taken the move to the Chinese Super League, of course. Like Chan says, they're one of the top teams in the Chinese Super League as well, and I expect they'll be getting an awful lot of money for it. And it really is an interesting transfer, because you've not only got a player there that in the sort of in the peak years of his career, 24 years old, is going over to a league that a lot of people will see as a league for players that will be going to end their career. He's going in the prime of his career, but he's going over as a player that hasn't played much for Everton. He hasn't had many opportunities, and what he's done is he's seen an opportunity to go over there. Yes, he probably will be getting an awful lot of money for it, because there's an awful lot of money in that league. I dare say a lot more money than he's getting at Everton. And he's thought, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to see what I can do. He'll be playing, in the same league as some really good players, and he'll be playing in a league, like I said, that will provide him an awful lot of money. And at the end of the day, we're looking at a situation here where Tyias Browning isn't playing for Everton week in, week out. He's very rarely mentioned at Everton. He's one of them players really that doesn't get anywhere near the first sort of 18, maybe is in and around the under 23s, despite the fact that obviously he's 24, probably getting pushed aside by the fact that there's younger players coming through the academy that are seen, as better in a way, and are seen as having more opportunity of breaking into the first team than him. And he's gone, I'm going to go over to the Chinese Super League then, and I'm going to learn my trade there, and I'm going to start playing football week in, week out there. And fair play to him, absolutely fair play to him. You can't knock the lad. It'd be a different situation if he was playing in the Premier League week in, week out for Everton, and he was on a decent paycheck for Everton, and he'd said, I want to go to the Chinese Super League at 24 years old. Then you could say, hang on, you played in one of the best leagues in the world, and you've chosen to go there, maybe for money. But he's not playing for Everton, he's not playing week in, week out. He's very rarely had I don't think he's had more than 6 caps for Everton, 6 appearances for Everton, sorry, I don't know why I said caps then. So, at the end of the day, you can't really fault him for going over. It's an undisclosed fee, of course, so we don't know how much it is. Again, his wages and all that stuff is private as well, so we don't know how much that is. But generally, with the whole consensus of the Chinese Super League and the fact that they generally pay a lot of money, we can only assume that Tyias Browning will be on quite a decent paycheck, and probably more than what he was on at Everton. So, fair play to him, let him go. Like I said, it is a strange one, because it's a player at 24 years old in the prime of his career going over to a league that a lot of people see as, a league for the older players and the players that have lost their legs and the players that haven't got much to give. He's pretty much in the prime of his career going over there in a similar way as to that Oscar did. And it's, it has its comparisons to the situation that's going on in the German league at the minute, where players are going from England to Germany and starting to learn their trade over there. Obviously, we've seen our very own Ademola Lookman go to Leipzig on loan last season. We've seen Jadon Sancho from Manchester City go over to the German league and absolutely tear it up with Dortmund. And we're seeing Hudson-Odoi, or however you say his name, from Chelsea, looking to breach a move to Bayern Munich because he's not getting much game time at Chelsea. And that's a situation that you're seeing with clubs in the minute the Premier League, is that the younger players, the players that aren't getting their opportunities, are saying, well, you know what, rather than me just sit around here and then inevitably go and play for a Bournemouth or a West Brom, or somebody that isn't really doing well enough in this league, or somebody that I would see as a step down, I'm going to go to a different country. I'm going to go and learn my trade in Germany. I'm going to go and learn my trade in Spain. I'm going to go and learn my trade in the Chinese league. I'm going to go and get a fat wage, a fat paycheck. I'm playing for a decent team. You think Jadon Sancho's probably been sitting there thinking, I'm not going to get much game time at City, so I'm going to go to Dortmund, who equally, mightn't be as good as Manchester City, but they're still one of the best teams in Europe, and he's turning it up in the German league, and they're looking like they're going to win the Bundesliga as well. So I think it's a situation that we're seeing a lot more of, and obviously, fair play to Tyias Browning. Listen, he's not getting game time, he's not playing for Everton, and Guangzhou, I'm going to try and pronounce it again, Guangzhou Evergrande have come in probably with a massive offer for him and said, why don't you come and play over here? And he's gone, you know what, I will, so fair play to him. If you're not enjoying the stream so far, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe as well if you haven't already. I think we're like 23 subscribers. Not that I'm counting, definitely am. Away from 400, so I'd massively appreciate it if you could subscribe, share the channel to your mates, if any of them are Evertonians, to your family members as well. All your support is obviously massively appreciated. I really do appreciate it. Where are we? John says, Anthony Taylor sending off 2 players tonight. It wouldn't surprise me, mate. It wouldn't surprise me. Matthew says, anyone watching Atletico versus Juve? I probably will, to be honest with you. Mess says, sad to see Brown go. Injury killed him. Same with Galloway, who will sadly leave next season. Yeah, Tyias Brown and like you mentioned there, a player that did suffer from injuries. Like I said, the most memorable game he played for me was in that derby where he played right back, and I think he played quite well as well. But like you've said there, got a couple of injuries and just fell down the ranks a little bit, and that's sadly what happens with young players when they're just about to break through, when they're just breaching through into the first team. If they get a couple of injuries and it sets them back a couple of months, they're all of a sudden back down there, and then they've got to fight again, and then by the time that they've got to the point where they're ready to fight again to get their place, we've already signed 2 other centre-half, so down the pecking order, and that's what's happened to Tyias Brown, and unfortunately, and now he's decided to take that chance and go over to the Chinese Super League, which is fair enough to him. Jamie says, just donated, pal. Thank you very much, Jamie. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Of course, Shabba says, I remember when he was getting talked up as a big up-and-coming player. Exactly, he was, and again, that was near in the time when he was playing in the Merseyside derbies and when he was breaking into the team, when he was looking like a real talent. And like I said, that's just what happens with young players, is they get a couple of injuries and unfortunately they fall down that pecking order, and before you know it, you've got a really talented young player that at one point you were saying, bloody hell, he could be the next big thing here. Next minute you've signed somebody for 40 million and he gets forgotten about, and then you don't really see or hear of him again, and I think that's what's happened here. Emily says, I am from Turkey and follow you and Everton. Thank you very much, Emily. I really do appreciate your support, as everybody else's as well. David says, rumour is 1 million. Maybe we can get Schneiderlin, Sandro, Balassi, Morales, Besic, Niasse, Tosun, Walcott and DCL Chinese lessons. Listen, 1 million of course is absolutely nothing in this day and age. It's buttons, but I dare say Tyias Brown, and he'll be on probably around about that a month or something silly like that anyway, so fair enough to him. At the end of the day, he wasn't a player that was in Marco Silva's plans. He wasn't a player that was in any of the previous managers' plans since Roberto Martinez, so he's not going to be a massive loss to the squad. And at the end of the day, he wants to play football. He doesn't just want to sit on the bench for Everton week in, week out, or not even sit on the bench, sit at home and watch us week in, week out. So fair enough to him. If we can ship some other players that are a little bit of dead wood for hopefully more than 1 million, then yeah, I'm sure we'll be looking to do that in the summer in order to bring in some new players. Mess says, why DCL Gilvey should be the one going, need to make that 45 million back. That's in response to David's comment. Martin says, bit harsh of Tosun and DCL there, David. They're fed on scraps game after game. I do agree with that one. I wouldn't be selling DCL or Tosun at the minute, purely because of the fact that, like Martin says there, they don't get much support game after game, and at the end of the day, listen, we haven't got anybody else really, so what can you do? Jamie says, if you have any spare change, donate it via the link in the description. Thank you very much, Jamie. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Chan says, perfect pronunciation. I would say China Super League is pretty slow, comparable to League One maybe. Like, he is pretty young and hope he will come back to the EPL. Oh, brilliant. I've pronounced it right. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I would, in terms of, comparisons, I don't want to compare the Chinese Super League to any other league, because I'm not going to lie, I don't watch it. I never have watched it. But, at the end of the day, I think Tyias Brown is a decent footballer. He mightn't be Premier League level, he mightn't be the level to play for Everton Football Club, but I think he's definitely at least League One level, maybe even Championship level. So if he's playing in a league that's similar to that, then hopefully, he'll be able to tear it up there, and maybe he'll catch the eye of some teams in the Premier League, or maybe even in Europe. Maybe some teams in Spain, Germany, France, Italy will look at him and go, you know what, this lad's turning it up there, and he's only 24, 25 years old. Maybe we'll take the risk on him as well. David says, they're having to feed off scraps. Gilfy just creates his own. Toss and DCL won't make it, in my opinion. Fair enough. Martin says, want to see Bernard, DCL, I assume that, and Lookman on the left as our front three, with Garner, Gomez and Davis breaking the support for the front three. Maybe we'll see that. That will be a top front three. I must say, Bernard and Lookman on the wings and DCL up front will be a really good front three. Emily says, Cenk Tosun is king. He is. David says, now that I agree with Martin, fair enough. Ralph says, lucky to get 15 million for Sigurdsson. At the minute, Gylfi Sigurdsson isn't performing, that's for sure. At the minute, he's not doing it how he should be doing it. So, I don't think we'd sell Gylfi Sigurdsson anyway. For me, I just question whether he's good enough to be part of a team that's breaking into the top 6, especially with the way he's playing at the moment. Jack says, would you take Mourinho as next manager? It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one. Listen, when I think of Jose Mourinho, I think of the last 6 months at Manchester United. I think of how he capitulated in the last 6 months at Manchester United. And I think that Manchester United at the time were a team challenging for the top 4, and he didn't have the capability and the capacity to take them to that next level. Everton are a team that, according to the board and according to Denise Barrett-Baxendale, the CEO, should be challenging for the top 4 in the next few years. So therefore, by definition, Jose Mourinho wouldn't be, the right man for the job. I'm not saying that he's, Marco Silva's a better manager. I'm not saying that Jose Mourinho's CV or resume doesn't speak for itself, because it really, really does. And maybe if he was given, a massive transfer fund, he might be able to attack some really, really good players. But I don't think Jose Mourinho will come to Everton for the start, and I don't think we'd be really interested in him, just because obviously of what happened at Manchester United and the fact that he is an egotistical based manager, and he's a manager that if he, at the end of the day, he lost Manchester United's dressing room, and at the minute the players at Everton need a manager that's going to kick them up the bum a little bit, but say, listen, you're better than this, you can win these games of football that you're not winning, rather than a manager that just says you're all shite, basically, because that's what we're saying week in, week out, because that's how they're performing at the minute. Ralph says he's not doing it. I assume that's about Gylfi Sigurdsson. Martin says Tosin showed last season with decent service he can score goals. I do agree with that one. Jack says, with Lukaku struggling, would you take him back at Everton? No, I wouldn't take him back at Everton. It's going to be a controversial one, and I know a lot of Evertonians would take him back in a heartbeat just because he's a goal scorer. For me, I don't like his attitude at all. We obviously, there's been the rumour that we may be interested in him. As soon as he heard about that rumour, he come out and said, why should I go back to Everton? What have Everton done since I left? Where have they progressed? Which is fair enough, but where have you progressed, lad? Down the Five Guys eating a burger because you've buffed up like that? No, I'm not going to go into being personal with him, but, personally, listen, I wouldn't take him back. I just don't. I think his first touch hasn't improved since he's gone to, one of the biggest clubs in world football. I think, obviously, adding that weight to it, which is quite clearly muscle. I was only joking, it's not fat. I think he's become less mobile. He's not as fast as he was. He's not as quick as he was. And he's struggling to score goals. And Lukaku relies on really good service into the box, and if he gets that, he will score you goals. He will score you 20 goals a season. At the minute, we don't have a player to provide that service, so I think he would massively struggle in our team as well. And plus, I just don't like his attitude and don't like how he portrays himself and how he speaks about our football club as well. Martin says Coleman, Sigurdsson and Richarlison deserve to be benched. Don't play well out of the team. Fair enough, Coleman obviously has been benched in the last couple of weeks. I do agree with Sigurdsson and Richarlison as well. I don't think they're playing good enough at the moment. Good Soul 12 says, fine line with making it or not. Browning's been unlucky with injuries, and sometimes that's the difference. Exactly 100%. Jamie says, we should buy Wanyama from Spurs if Gay does leave for PSG. It's a very, very good option. Wanyama, when he originally was playing for Southampton, was somebody that I was really, really interested in. I wanted Everton to sign. Obviously, he ended up moving to Spurs. Listen, I think Garner probably will leave in the summer. I think his aim is to leave the football club. I think he wants to leave. So if he does, we're definitely going to have to, look for a replacement. Maybe it's Wanyama, maybe it's Decore from Watford. But if Garner does leave, obviously he is going to need to be replaced, of course. Where are we up to? Chan says in response to Martin, yes, I agree. John Joe and Tom Davis are playing pretty well at the minute. Yes, I agree with that one 100%. Jack says Rashford is so much better than Lukaku. I do agree with that one as well. Martin says Kenny should never have been dropped when Coleman come back. Again, I agree. Ralph says, would you take Ross back, mate? I don't think Ross would come back, and I don't think 90% of Evertonians would have Ross back. Again, would he improve our squad? Would he, is he good enough to break into the top 6? Is he good enough to break into the top 4? I don't particularly think he is, and that's why I wouldn't have him back. I'm not here for the nostalgia. I'm not here for that, is he better than Andre Gomez? I don't think he is. Is he better than, he plays a different role to Gay, so we can't say that. Is he better than Gylfi Sigurdsson? Does he create more than Gylfi Sigurdsson? Can he? Although Gylfi has been performing poorly, and I agree, and I think Gylfi needs to step his game up massively. Has Ross Barkley got the pure talent that Gylfi Sigurdsson has? I don't think he has, so for me, I wouldn't take him back. David says, rather have Unzi and Fergie than I'm Oh, and Lukaku can look elsewhere. Fair enough. Jamie says he's not even making the movement in the box for United, so he's literally a ghost in that team. Exactly, and if he doesn't make the movement in our box, he'll be he'll be even more of a ghost in this team. He'll be like it'd be like the Exorcist in this team. He's just absolutely pointless and may as well just piss off basically. Where are we here? Drew says, I agree with you about Lukaku. Wouldn't have him back and wouldn't have Ross back. He has gone downhill at Chelsea. He offers nothing. Fair enough. I do agree with you to an extent as well. Jack says, is Wan-Bissaka gettable now? I think Wan-Bissaka for me will be going to Manchester City or a Chelsea or a United in the summer. I think he's going to be touted a massive move. He might even be another one of those players that goes and plays in a different league, goes and plays in a European league. He's a fantastic right back. Listen, for me at the moment, we'll talk about it in just a moment, but I think John Joe Kenny's doing well. I think John Joe Kenny's doing his job well, and I think he's playing well. I don't particularly think he's good enough to take us to the top 6, and I don't think he's good enough to be our right back going forward. However, I'd be more than happy to be proved wrong about that. But listen, we'll talk about a certain Mason Holgate in just a minute. We spoke about him in the last stream, of course. Since then, there's been a clip released on Twitter. I tweeted it out last night at our Twitter, at MightyBluesYT. If you don't follow it, please do so. If you get a minute. Mason Holgate is looking absolutely fantastic for West Bromwich Albion at the minute, playing right back. So maybe he deserves an opportunity when he comes back next season. Martin says Davis is better than Barkley. Fair enough. Ralph says, I like the Chelsea right back. He's classmate. I can't pronounce his name. I don't know if you're talking about Aspilicueta there. He is really good, but I don't think he'd leave Chelsea. Good source said we desperately need a leader on the pitch. 100%. Spoke about it multiple times on multiple scenes. We definitely need a leader on the pitch. That is what we lack massively. Leadership. We lack leadership on and off the field, and I think that is a massive reason as to why a lot of issues are ongoing at the football club at the minute. If you're enjoying the stream so far, please do leave a like, by the way, and subscribe if you're new. Of course, so close to 400 subscribers, so I would massively appreciate that one. Martin says we should get Kante to replace Garner. I wish. Craig says I would love Lukaku to come back, but it would probably hit him on the shin and go out for a throw-in. Yeah, exactly like it used to do when he was here. Ralph says would improve us 100%. He would. Panthers says put the cat from the Wolves. PS Everton game and manager's 3-year contract, or give the cat a striker's position, give the cat 20 million. You know what? To be honest, I think the cat could probably score a few more goals than we are at the minute, if I'm being completely honest. So stick the cat up front, I agree. David says Barkley and Lukaku didn't just bite the hand that fed them, they dropped a turd in it. 100%, and that's a fantastic analogy, and that is the reason why I wouldn't have either of them back at Everton. And Shan says, would you take Drinkwater? Depends on what they would want for him, depends on the price they would want for him, depends what the deal would be. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's a great player, and I don't know where he'd fit in our team, to be honest with you. He doesn't really play the Garner role. I don't know whether he's as good as Andre Gomez is at doing that role, and I don't really think he's creative enough to play in the 10 role, or whatever you want to call it, centre attacking midfielder. So I'm not too sure whether I would, to be honest with you. So I suppose we'll go on to talk about Mason Holgate now. I wasn't planning on talking about him, but we spoke about him on Monday's stream, and since then, like I said, the clip was released yesterday from West Bromwich Albion. I believe they played yesterday. I think it was like 3-3 or something mad like that. If you haven't seen the clip, if you go over to our Twitter at MightyBluesYT, we did tweet it out last night, and it's absolutely fantastic. Basically, it's one of the goals that they scored, and it's the ball's on the right hand side, and a couple of West Brom players are having it, and I think one of them back heels it, and Mason Holgate absolutely belts it through the herd of players, gets on the end of it, puts a cross into the box, and somebody's on the end of it to put it in the back of the net, and you just think, you know what, this lad, every time you're seeing him for West Brom, is doing it. And I know it's in the Championship, and I know it's a step down, and I know he had his opportunity playing right back for Everton a couple of times, and he didn't quite take it, but he seems to be improving week by week, and that is the whole, I think that's the whole, well, I know that's the whole process of going on loan. That's the conclusion, that's the solution you want from a loan, is the player to come back and having experienced and having, improved as a player, and that's what Mason Holgate seems to be doing week in, week out for West Brom. He keeps improving, and some of the clips you see in him, he looks absolutely rapid. I remember him playing for Everton, and I always thought, you know what, you're a decent defender, but you don't really offer a lot going forward. Maybe you're more of a centre back than a right back, and then the more you've seen him, the more you thought maybe he is a little bit more of a right back actually, but does he have that cut and pace? I've seen about 3 clips of him now for West Bromwich Albion, and the pace on the lad is absolutely unbelievable. He's like lightning, he's quick, he's fast to everything, and he's fierce to everything. He's taking players on, and one thing I've seen, and one thing I've taken from a lot of those clips, if you haven't seen them, you literally just type in Mason Holgate on Twitter, and there's, about 3 or 4 clips. One thing I've taken from them is that he's not afraid to take players on. He's not afraid to go at players. There's one where he gets the ball in his own half and he knocks it past one of the opposition players, and he just pelts onto it, and he ends up getting into the opposition box. He loses it, but he's not afraid to go at players. He's not afraid to do that, and that's what we need. We need a little bit of, just that's something that players aren't scared to go at players, not fearing, not thinking what's going to happen here if I lose the ball here up the pitch, what's going to happen here, just thinking, you know what, I'm going to get it and I'm going to run 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 and I'm just going to keep going, and a little bit of leadership. And I think that's what Mason Holgate could offer Everton. If he keeps playing like he's playing for West Brom at the minute, I think he definitely deserves his opportunity at right back next season when he comes back. I think he definitely deserves his opportunity in this team, because at the minute the right back position is a position that we're really struggling with at the minute. Obviously we've got Seamus Coleman, who's an Everton legend but isn't quite cutting it at the minute. We've got John Joe Kenny, who's stepping in and doing a good job. Fair enough, he's playing well defensively, but I just don't think he offers us enough going forward. And then we've got a right back on loan there that's turning it up week in week out in the Championship. He's got pace, he's got power, he's beating players, and he's got the ability to put a ball into the box as well. He's a strong physical presence as well, and defensively can do a job. Yes, he probably needs to improve a little bit on his rash decision making, as we've seen for Everton. But, I think with a little bit of confidence and with a little bit of urgency and passion, Mason Holgate can be a fantastic footballer, and I'd be really, really excited to see what he could do for Everton next season. David says, end on Belay and P-Attack, we get them, we will chase top 4. 2 very, very good players, and definitely improve our squad, that's for sure. Ralph says, that he can't get in the Chelsea team, we need to think outside the box. Danny Drinkwater not the answer. Fair enough. And he also says Danny Drinkwater not going to take Everton forward. Fair play. Shan says under 20 million. Listen, again, 20 million's under 20 million, nothing really in this day and age, is it? But it's all about players that are going to take us forward. It's all about players that are going to improve this squad. And does Danny Drinkwater do that? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Where are we? Mason says Holgate is a future at centre-back for us and potential captain material. He gets stuck in and a bit of Ramos in him. He does. He gets stuck in, and he's not afraid to get stuck in, and he's not afraid to challenge players, and he's not afraid to, get in the face of players. We seen that at Anfield last season when he pushed Firmino into the stands. He loves a little bit of that, and maybe he does have a future centre-back, maybe that is his natural position, but playing right-back at the minute for West Brom, he's looking fantastic, and that's what we need. We need a right-back that offers us that little bit of pace, that little bit of urgency, and that's something that says, I'm not afraid to go past you, I'm not afraid to run past you, I'm going to, take you on, and I'm going to have a go here, and that's desperately what we need at the minute, of course. David says Mason needed to step down to regain confidence. Maybe he did, and he seems to have got a lot of confidence at the minute. Martin says agreed. Ralph says Mason Holgate gets very frustrated up against big men when they rough him up. Fair enough, maybe he doesn't, maybe that's something he's going to have to learn while he's in the Championship. Martin says Dal will never make it. Fair enough, again another player that's out on loan at Sheffield United, doing okay at the minute. Doesn't seem to be doing unbelievable, but he's doing okay. Ralph says ends up losing his temper. Fair enough. Good Soul says, do you think Pickford has been less vocal since the derby? What was that then? The City on me watch has just said okie dokie. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's listening to me, which is a bit weird. Sorry about that. Anyway, back into the comment. Good Soul says, do you think Pickford has been less vocal since the derby? He used to kick the asses of defenders for errors. I think there's no question about it that Jordan Pickford has lost confidence since the derby, and I think he might have lost a little bit of himself. He might have lost a little bit of, I'm going to scream at players, I'm going to get at defenders, because I think he's probably taken a step back now and gone, I best just do, me, I best just focus on me and what I'm doing first before I start going at other players, because, he has made some shocking mistakes this season. Obviously the derby, the Tottenham one as well, where he got caught up with Zuma, it was. So, I think maybe it has, but, you still see him screaming at defenders, you still see him screaming at players, and that's the good thing that's a good thing about him, is that he's not afraid to get in players' faces, he's not afraid to scream and say, hey, you should be there, you do your job. But I think the most important thing for Jordan Pickford is he needs to make sure he's doing his job as well. Martin says, Piatek signed for AC Milan. I wasn't aware of that, but fair enough. Ralph says he's not a modern right wing back. I assume that's about Holgate. Maybe he's not, but he seems to be, turning up pretty well in the Championship. And David says, Martin Wood, 30 million sway Milan. I assume that's about Piatek. Again, I'm not too sure about that one. If you have enjoyed this team so far, please do leave a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. I think I'm going to leave it there for today. Like I said, a couple of bits of news and information. Obviously, speaking about Mason Holgate, let me know what your thoughts are in the live comments. If you're watching this as a video afterwards, let me know your thoughts in the comment section of the video. What do you think about Mason Holgate? Have you been impressed with him from the clips that you've seen at West Bromwich Albion? Do you think that he could potentially make it in the Premier League for Everton? Do you think he could be our right back going forward? What do you think about Tyias Browning's move to the Chinese Super League as well? Do you think it's a little bit of a strange one, or do you think, you know what, fair enough on the player, good luck to him, go out there, do what you're doing, earn a load of money playing football in a semi-decent league, and let's hope that we get to see you in the Premier League again at some time. And of course, we spoke about the start of the team, the Goodison Park zip slide as well. I'll be taking part in it Saturday the 30th of March. If you want more information on that, head over to Everton in the Community's Twitter and or the website as well, and there's more information on how you can sign up to be a part of that as well. Or alternatively, if you're not looking to be a part of it and you'd like to be a part of the fundraising for it, I've left a link in the description down below. Any donations, literally anything, pennies, pounds, anything is greatly appreciated. Obviously, I'll be doing the zip line, of course. I've left my link there to my page down in the description. Any donations will be massively appreciated. I know a couple of you have donated here today, so a massive thank you for that as well. I know Jamie donated earlier on the team, so a massive thank you, Jamie, for that one, of course. Listen, it's a massive event, and it's for a really good cause. Alternatively, there's a load of other people doing it. There's, sure there's going to be hundreds of people doing it over on Twitter, over on Facebook. So if you know anybody doing it through there, then don't hesitate to go and donate to them, of course. If you don't want to donate to me, if you know somebody personally that's doing it, get the donations in if you can, because obviously it all goes towards Everton in the Community and a really good cause, trying to raise £1 million for the People's Place, which is going to be a new mental health facility, which will be located literally 500 metres away from Goodison Park, and a place where people that are suffering from mental health issues can go and see a professional and just talk about their situation and just, get a little bit of reassurance and sit there and have somebody to sit and listen to you. Because I think that's one of the hardest things when you suffer from mental health problems, is that, sometimes you feel like you've got no one to speak to, sometimes you feel like you've got no one to turn to. So it's massively important that, we have people to turn to. Like I said, me personally, suffering from mental health issues since I was a kid, I've had a massively strong family and friendship group around me that I've always been able to turn to, but some people don't have that. So it's really important what Everton in the Community are doing, and it's absolutely fantastic as well. So if you've got any spare pennies at all, please do drop a donation if you can, using the link below in the top line of the description, and I'll be vlogging the whole day on the Saturday the 30th of March, doing the zip line across Goodison Park as well. And I'll probably be a little bit scared, because I'm sitting here saying, I don't mind heights, I don't mind zip lines, but I probably will be a little bit scared. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's team. I'll just go through some of the live comments before we leave. Where are we up to? Martin says he's worth over 100 million now, banging them in for Milan. I assume that's about Piatek. Fair enough. Chan says, although Holgate may not be quick enough to be the modern right wing back, but I think he's pretty good at almost everything. I think he is. I think he's a good all-round player. I do agree with that one. Martin says, Genoa signed him for 4 million last summer. Jesus. Ralph says, I think Pickford should scream and shout as much as possible. Love it. I do as well. I love it when he's telling people where they should be, and he's telling people, this is your role, you get to doing that. But I think Pickford has to sort of do his role a little bit better at times as well, if I'm being honest. Drew says, I like Holgate, he has a lot to offer. He is better than what we have at the minute. He just needs a man next to him to teach him the trade. Fair enough, and I think that's a really good comment. Ralph says, Holgate, no wing back, mate. Fair enough. David says, I know, mate, he'll be on Mbappe's heels, massive potential. I think that's about Piatek. Ralph says he is too stiff. I assume that's about Holgate. Fair enough. And David says, another good one, Cam. Great work, mate. Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much to everybody in the live comments, as per usual. I really, really do appreciate you coming over and taking your time to watch the stream tonight. I'll be back live on Friday, of course, again at 6:15, talking all things Everton again. And then, of course, we'll have Monday's live stream. Will be the full game preview to Everton versus Cardiff City, or Cardiff City versus Everton, should I say. The Blues back in action next Tuesday after a long couple of weeks off. Let me know in the comment section down below as well. Do you miss Everton when we don't play? If you're in the live comments, let me know in the live comments now before we go. And if you're watching it as a YouTube video afterwards, let me know. Do you miss Everton when we don't play? Or are you just thinking, you know what, this is absolutely fantastic. No disappointment, no, none of that. Just a nice break away from Everton. Or are you sitting there now thinking, come on, can't wait to see us back on the pitch again? For me, listen, I'm not going to lie. Despite the fact we haven't been fantastic recently, despite the fact some of the results and performances have been poor, I can't wait to get us back in action. I can't wait to see us back in action, and hopefully we kickstart it with a win at Cardiff City next Tuesday. But anyway, that is going to do it from me today. A massive thank you to everybody in the live comments and watching live, and a massive thank you to you watching as a YouTube video as well, if you're watching this after the stream has finished. Massive thank you for all the support as per usual. Like I said, if you have enjoyed the stream, please do leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe as well. It really, really does mean a lot to me. I'll be back on Friday at 6:15 for another live stream, and of course we'll be back on Monday to do the full game preview to the Cardiff game as well. John says they need this breakaway, to be honest. Yes, they do, definitely. I think the players do, I think the fans do, but I can't wait to get us back in action against Cardiff next Tuesday. But anyway, that is going to do it from me. A massive thank you for watching. Once again, if you want more information about the Goodison Park zip line and about raising funds for Everton in the community, if you click the link in the description below, you don't have to donate, but you can go to my page and there's a little bit more information about the the amazing work that Everton in the community do, and a little bit more information on the zip slide as well. Drew says, just hoping this break sorts us out a little bit. I agree 100%. I'm in the same boat. Hopefully it gives them a kick up the bum, and hopefully it does sort us out, and it does it shows the players that we need to start winning football matches and that we need to start putting decent performances in as well. But anyway, that is going to do it for me. A massive thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.